The first thing I'm going to do is pull the steering wheel forward and down, give myself more space. And then we need to undo these two screws up here. You see 1, 2, to get your screwdriver in there. Unscrew them a little bit, and then the top half will pop out, then you can pull the bottom half out. Sort of screw clips. And after you've taken those out, this will pull forward. We'll do that now. So after you've popped those screws out, you can pull this one forward. Don't need to unclip it completely, just loosen it there. And then we can start pulling off this top piece. So right from that end to this end. You can probably just get in with your hands and wiggle it out, but if you've got this one, this will help you too, to get started. So you're just finding a point to start from, and then the whole thing comes out on clips quite easily. And we're going to want to remove this whole glove box. So I'm going to put the phone down to do it, but if you get both your hands in there and pull, then you can pull the whole glove box out easily, unclips easily. So I gave it a pull, and then the whole thing pops out, lifts out easily. Next thing is the AC unit panel. Again, you can either pop that out with your fingers on this side, usually the best place. Go on that side, and again you can just leave it loose there for now, don't need to unplug it. And then it's just unscrewing the unit. So you get your screwdriver, start unscrewing the 4 screws, 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. I'm going to unscrew those now. After you've removed your screws, you're going to wiggle and pull this whole piece forward. Careful not to scratch anything with the metal. Going to unplug each of these plugs one by one. This is the older style plugs. If you've got the newer one, is going to be less plugs, a different shape, but you unplug them all the same. This one, the FM aerial. I believe that's the DAB aerial, the black one. The various plugs on the main harness. Or just push tabs. It's probably the GPS, looks like. That's the USB plug. Just a note with this one, this is an important plug, passenger airbag. Just unplug it with caution. You don't want to turn the car on when this is unplugged, or you'll get an airbag warning light on your dash. That will be a pain to get rid of. So unplug it, but plug it in again as soon as you possibly can. So what I mean is, the first thing I would do is take that out of the frame with the help of my flathead, just to unclip on the sides here. First thing I'm going to do is take that out and put it into the new frame. I'm not going to turn the car on until that's plugged in. Very important. I'm also going to take all the yellow clips off, because they need to be copied over to our new frame. Just waiting down there. You can leave it screwed in. All you really need is the passenger airbag and the clips. So I'm going to do that now. So I've put my passenger airbag into its place. I've put all the clips on. So it's just the wires now. That's all ready to plug in. And the main harness here, I've plugged in our main harness. So all of the plugs are in. There's one plug left over. That's fine, it's not a problem. That's for other Toyota models. You can ignore it. The rest of the cables here, this is an antenna, booster, lengthener. You don't need it on this car because it's already got a powered antenna, which is this blue one for the FM aerial. The other aerial alongside the FM is the DAB, it's the black one. If you want to connect the DAB, I think this is an SMB, it's the smaller one. Usually they're SMA, sorry, usually they're FACRAs, FACRA plugs, but this one is a bit different. So I'll try and figure out which adapter you need, but I think it's an SMB. You can ignore that white one because that's for the GPS. I'm just going to tuck it away up there because we're going to plug in our own GPS and Wi-Fi. So the blue one is the GPS aerial and the Wi-Fi is the pink one. You can stick these down anywhere in there. You don't need to overthink it. Any flat plastic surface, as long as it's not directly below metal, it can be stuck down. And they plug into the blue and pink here in the unit. Okay. Apart from that, if you're using your microphone, I usually put the microphone up here in the corner, run it down here underneath the steering wheel and out to here. And you'll just need the cable to plug the microphone into. It's in this bag, all the cables. The only things you really need for here are this is the one for the microphone, black one labeled mic. The rest of these are for aftermarket speakers, high inputs and subwoofer. So most people won't be using these. They're only using this for the mic and maybe the SIM card holder, which is here. So you can undo this and run the SIM card holder into the glove box. It's quite a good place to put it, along with your extra USB cable. There's a 4-pin there and the 6-pin. You only really need the 6-pin because the 4-pin is going to connect to the factory USB port just there. And that's what this one is. So that's all the wires explained. I'm going to run these into the glove box and run my mic up there. The only other thing not to forget is this little one in the bag, which is the reverse camera adapter. If you've got a reverse camera on your model, you're going to want to connect to one of these two yellow males. There are two because there's two separate plugs here, so you just figure out which one has got the camera plug on it that you need. In that case, it's this one. So we just plug that in, and then you start plugging everything into your unit. Okay, I'm going to plug everything in now. So I've plugged everything in, all set up. Just a recap of the wires. So blue and pink are GPS and Wi-Fi aerials. Reverse camera adapter is plugged in for the reverse camera. 4-pin USB for the factory USB port and the 6-pin grey USB. I've got it connected to the DAB Plus at the moment, so there's no spare one. This one, which is just plugged into for the microphone, and the main power plug and the FM aerial here. So that's all ready to put into place. Which you can do by just lining up the clip holes and clip it back in. And then you're just working in reverse. Putting everything back in the way it came out. So first that, clip that back in. Then we put the glove box back in. Then we put that back on. And then finally we clip that back in. So for setting up, if your steering wheel controls aren't working, you probably haven't plugged in the black CAN bus box or the little 8-pin plug into the back of the unit. If you have done that, then the steering wheel controls and everything will be working. The doors, they may be swapped over, so left, right, right is left. To fix it, you go into my car setting, door windows, front door exchange. You can also turn your rear radar off. This is for in your camera. In this car you don't need the rear radar because the sensors aren't linked to the CAN bus. So you still have the sensors, and it's just the factory Toyota camera. You can hold the screen down. It probably starts off quite dim for these cameras, so you hold the screen down, turn the brightness up, and then you've got a much better picture there. That's the camera. You can put your shortcuts down here. You can, if you don't like the style of the launcher, then you can put a new launcher on it. It's got some on here as well. Or you can install more on the Play Store. If you want more apps, you need to connect the unit to internet. So you do that by swiping down turning on Wi-Fi. I've connected it to my iPhone, and then you can sign into Play Store, etc. Put new apps on there. I've put some DAB apps on here, so I've connected the DAB aerial, so DABZ there, for example. What else? And then this little floaty thing on the left, you can get rid of that because it's not much good really, any of it. So we go back into my car, other setting, can float menu off, confirm. That's about all you need to do for setup on this one. So the Bluetooth is I've called it Hilux, that's the pin code, you can change it in here. And always put Z-Link as a shortcut, because that's the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's the blue Z-Link. That's about it, I think, for this one. Let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, let us know. And thank you very much for watching.